Hey babies, what's up my darling MVPs and how you all doing? Welcome back to Sail with Mimiciously Mimi, where you get the gist. I see they do waiting. I see they heart. Of course, you know there's no sleeping on a bicycle on this channel. If you snooze, you do what? You lose. Are you yet to subscribe to this channel, or are you still sitting on a fat long thing? Kindly pause right there, subscribe, and make sure you turn on the notification bell. If not, tell me, how do you want to get the gist brewing from the cooking pot? Like, how do you want to get the gist? I see they hot. So guys, like I told you guys already, there is after eviction drama. You already know that Ebuka actually shattered some tables, and you know what would happen, after. Though the kind of dramatic night we're thinking it will be, it's really not giving that yet. Okay, the only person with Paraday body is still Wanni over Shaun, right? The way people would actually, we thought people would take okay, before I would go there, let me just finish up with Wanni. So after the eviction, Wanni was having conversation with Chizoba, and she was trying to explain everything that happened with her. She was trying to let her know how Shaun picked sides. It's just like you're trying to settle disputes among siblings and you're taking sides. Normally you should just settle that and not act like, according to her, she said what it was giving like you took side with. It's just giving Handy and Shaun over her. It's just giving the two of them over her, because you were not coming to settle dispute. You were just on Handy's side and just making everything look one-sided. You were not just neutral. As you can see from this picture, you would sight from the very end and you will see Handy over there with Shaun still having some convo. When Wanni was explaining everything to, what was her name, to Onyeka, and then, not Onyeka, sorry, Chizoba. And then she was also telling Chizoba that this guy literally pulled off her hand and called her a violent person. That because of he actually, according to Wanni, she actually pushed him a bit because she wanted to pass. That was why he called her a violent person. And guess what? The camera did not show us this part. And it happened upstairs. She actually did push him a bit. And then that was why Shaun called her a violent person and tell her to go and cry, that all of that thing got to her. That because he was just picking sides. So at this point, she said she doesn't want to have a conversation where Ben is. Remember, Ben and Chizoba are a thing, right? But she was telling Chizoba that Ben is not a trusted person, because they wanted to go outside to have a cool convo and they cited Ben there, and she was like, oh, she doesn't want to have a convo where Ben is, that they should go back inside. She was like, sorry, I have to say this to you, but Ben is not someone you can trust. You guys remember I just told you guys already about how they said Ben is an instigator. So while they were having that convo, Handy went to have conversation with Shaun. Remember, Handy said she was gonna bring them together to make peace. So when she went to have that conversation with Shaun, and Shaun insisted that he is not going to have any conversation to Wanni, that he's not even going to go to Wanni, to me, I'm like, hey, you are the man here. You should actually just make the move and just settle things. Why are you forming this strong? It's giving what he said earlier, that he is not ready to chase women. That it's the other way around with what he said about Nelly. Because how can you say, no, you will not be the one to go and meet her? Your babe just survived eviction. You could not even go say congratulations to her. Even when I noticed what was happening was when they were still, before the eviction, they asked the nominated housemates to pack their bags, and the bags are upstairs. No matter how you're having ish with your girl, despite you guys were not talking, the best thing you would have done as a gentleman is do what? Go upstairs, help with those luggage. But no, he doesn't. Why would I do that? He's just busy writing his punishment. He does not even care. Now imagine Handy coming to meet him and he said he's not going to go meet Wanni. Like, I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, I don't even blame all these guys because these ladies make it easy for them. So that's why they feel like they can actually act a different kind of way. Okay, we'll still get back to Shaun, Wanni, and Handy Ish. I just want to drop the convo according to how the camera was actually giving us. The other end was Onyeka having conversation with Victoria. You know, I'm like, this girl, you know the rest. Of course, they were just saying, oh, they don't open your nyash, they don't open your nyash. So she came to have conversation with her to tell her how things is. But Victoria was like, it's not that deep. Like, they were just having that same convo. At this point, it's becoming so irritating because repetition every time. So when they were still having that conversation, I don't know what Victoria said. She had to excuse that convo, whether she said pack her bag or something. She just had to excuse her from there. So going back to Wanni and Handy and then Onyeka. Handy came back, revert back to tell the sister what Shaun said. That he is not gonna actually come to her. And then she said then that means that this guy is claiming that he's not an alpha male. That he is not an alpha male. He's just claiming to be that. What kind of guy is this? That he's actually beefing. That how can a man you called your guy is beefing you? That this one is clear beefing. There is nothing you can call it. That he is beefing. That this one is not an alpha male. The alpha male don't act like that. But something that I find funny was Wanni saying, I gave him food. I washed his clothes. I'm like, wow. Hey, then why would he not act this way? Why is he not going to act this way? You wash his clothes. Why? He doesn't have hands. So you made him so comfortable in that house. You made him feel like a prince in that house. And he cannot even reciprocate it. Because you cannot, somebody should just even drop one way Shaun has reciprocated Wanni's love in that house. Which ways? That is one thing I want to know. And meanwhile, why would Wanni be washing his clothes? What for? Like, what for? It was at this point she said she was done, that she's no longer interested again. Because her going to him, that how is that possible? Now the question is, will she keep to her words, or would Shaun come to her, or will she later go back to him? Because I would not be happy with this girl if she walked with her two legs to him. He should be the one to come to her. So at the other end, Shaun is still having conversation with Onyeka with her jet ski, gisting Shaun on how things are going, by the way, there is OZ Victoria thingy going on, how she needed clarity from Victoria. Even Shaun was laughing at her. Shaun was really laughing at her because all of these gists is really giving, you are really just disturbing yourself for nothing. That is what it's giving. At this point, you guys, I already told you guys that if Wanni and Shaun have ish, Shaun is going to be the one to feel it because they would even make you uncomfortable. Even the Handy that is trying to have conversation with Shaun would join the sister as a force to come for Shaun. You get. But the sister Handy was trying to ask Wanni because they had conversation. Then by the way, twins had to join suits. They were like, if this thing is not working, just let it be. Let it be. Let it go. If it's not working, you just let it be. Because all this with Chizoba, they were saying the same thing. I mean OC and Chizoba, because OC joined the convo later. They were like, at this point, if it's not working up, just let it be. Because making it look like you're lamenting on washing clothes, like, yo, that thing just sound me somehow for ear. So here, Wanni said she feels so irritated, that she's just trying to let things slide, just like OC said. But she feels like OC was taking sides. That was what Wanni said. But Handy said he wasn't taking any side. That what he was saying was just the fact, like he wasn't taking side. But Wanni felt like OC was taking side, and she feels irritated because if you're pissed at someone in this house, you cannot just avoid the person entirely. You'll be busy hearing the person kiki kakayin at the other end. You cannot just have a safe space. Now, talking about space and everything, it's in the kitchen. Onyeka, Victoria, Shaun, Ozzy, they were having that conversation about the Onyeka thingy. Onyeka is still trying to let them understand the path she was coming from, how Ozzy is trying to lead a certain narrative. But everyone is trying to tell her that you are the one making this thing look like a narrative. Ozzy told her and said, Big Brother doesn't ask me this thing in the diary room. Why always you? Because why? You made this a topic. And this girl, Victoria, was like telling Onyeka that you've asked me this thing more than once. You keep asking this thing, making it a repetitive something. It definitely means that it means something to you, but yet you don't want to accept it. And then Onyeka was like, at this point, nobody would want to see her own points of view because everybody thinks she's the one taking this so serious. But at the same time, she feels like Ozzy has a hand in this one. And then she said everything, all this reaction from her boils down from her past experience, the past trauma she had. And people like Ozzy told her and said, you cannot actually do things based on your experience. Public are watching you. Watch how you carry this thingy because it's giving you are the one who won this. While the argument was going on, Victoria went to sit at the lounge. Ozzy went to sit together. They were still having the same convo, and Victoria was telling Ozzy how the thing has been going, how Onyeka has actually been trying to have conversation with her all through today. She was trying to avoid it after this eviction. That's why is it a problem that they were also sending this narrative with herself and Femi. She decided to pull back, so she was letting Ozzy know that they're just friends. There's nothing big. She doesn't want any triangle attached to her name. Ozzy was like, it's not really a problem and whatnot. Why at the other hand here, what's her name? Anita. I told you guys Anita is more of a serious person than Nelly. Like, she takes things serious a bit. She really is not happy on what Suj did with Onyeka. Meanwhile, Onyeka told Shaun she could not remember the ass spanking or anything that happened. That is the tapping on the backside. I know why I'm just using the word tapping on the backside. I don't want to use the actual word I should use for it, right? So Onyeka told Shaun that she could not even remember that event playing, while Anita is busy telling Tofa that imagine Suj was forming all those vex the other nights whilst he did some things that are quite funny. He choke. If it was Tofa whom Ebuka revealed this on, Omo, Tofa will be receiving it on the hot seat by now. But you see Nelly is still laughing, chilling. Maybe she's still trying to keep cool. Maybe she's still trying to keep cool. We'll still see how things will actually fold as or unfold. Coming from Chime, we all know the person he's giving that meat to is MBGN. I think Chime is referring to Ben, what Ben said about the question he was asked between Chizoba and Anita, whom is he going to give the piece of meat? If you don't understand this particular gist right here, that means you missed the first video I posted out. I mean the eviction video. Yes, it definitely means you missed it. Yeah, so go see it. It's really pretty on my channel. Then Chizzy Francis, the writer with the right, says, Ebuka, they don't break up. I'm super proud of you. That is Wanni and Shaun. This Onyeka is obsessed with Victoria. What the F is she that she wants a straight answer from Victoria? Is it Victoria that she should be looking for straight answer, or from the love of her life, Ozzy? Is this nuts? Okay, I'm going to skip that one. So because she was saying she needed an answer from Victoria, me too, I was wondering, what is the answer all about, by the way? Onyeka better change her strategy, because actively assuming and coming for other girls because you want to be in a ship is embarrassing. Cook that thing says, Ebuka said to all sheep. It's giving, you guys know now, this is what the twins are good at. But this is what Ebuka did to their sheep right here. See how they are laughing and calling her name up and down. She is literally just herself. No one is surprised she will say stuff like this. Aniloso fire on. Okay, so people felt like because yes, the viewers were thinking everybody would just be on Onyeka because of some of the revealing, but the housemates are cool. Even Nelly was even playing with her, even gave her a handshake because of the survived eviction. So it definitely means it's not that deep, at least for now. Let's just know if they are trying to play cool, or later on people would have their conversation maybe during their private time. But for now, Nelly and Suji are doing great. They are laughing. In fact, they were cooking in the kitchen. He was even being an assistant to Nelly, so everything is just chilled. Like, there is no personal beef on Onyeka regarding that. The only thingy with Onyeka is just the triangle of Ozzy and Victoria, and that's all. Now the question is, guys, do you think Shaun and Wanni would stay apart? Do you think it's possible to stay apart in this house with someone you've started a thing with? Anyways, we'll see how everything will play out. My own is, whichever way it is, let Wanni not be the one to walk to him. He should be the one to come to Wanni and have a conversation with her. This is my own take. Feel free to tell me what you think in the comment section. Thank you so much for always sailing with me. Bye for now, babies.